On the list of Jacksonville topics, this defense has skated in terms of show coverage. This show, TV shows, nationally, we have talked about freaking Dak Prescott playing excellent. That has turned into the biggest topic after Jerry came on yesterday. We have talked about Noah Brown, as we just did with Michael Irvin. We have talked about Kellen Moore, and we should be talking about 500. Like, the number 500 was put up against this unit.
Yep.
And they've been put fourth on the totem pole in terms of talking points because of the great Dan Quinn, the untouchable Dan Quinn, and they are fourth on the topic run sheet everywhere after 500 yards given up against Jacksonville.
It's because they're the story that everybody that they want. They want this to be the way to win. You could not, at times, criticize the Rangers in town. Couldn't do it. They were the new thing. They were fun. This is what they wanted, right? Couldn't do it. You did it, you got killed. If you criticize the Cowboys defense, you're going to get destroyed. Don't criticize the defense. No. The culprit always has to be Dak Prescott. He always has to. So we always need a scapegoat. It's funny. The scapegoat of this team is always on the individually, is always on the defense. All right?
Kelvin.
It's either Kelvin or Anthony Brown or Jalen Smith or Van Der Esch was the scapegoat for a minute. There's always somebody in the defense that's the scapegoat. But the fan base wants the defense to be the reason because they don't want Romo to be it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's strong from J-Ron Curse. Respect for him.
It is.
And he tweets, too. He tweeted unacceptable. Everyone else, Jerry, McCarthy, everyone is just, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Like, oh, Shreve, why are you freaking out the past month? You're trying to be Stephen A. You're trying to get clicks and blah, blah, blah. J-Ron Curse just said it. J-Ron Curse just said it. He put him on blast. Thank you. And it's okay to want a higher standard. It's okay not to be fine with 3 straight narrow wins over the Giants and the AFC South. But that's what we've been talking about the past few weeks.
Absolutely. And look, I think Chop's right. Like, there's a lot of pretext that goes around after games like this, where it's like you've already made up in your mind almost before the game starts that if they lose, this is who I'm saying is the problem.
Yep.
Like if you don't like Dak, it's Dak. If you don't like Zeke, it's, well, you ran the ball too much and Zeke shouldn't have those touches. If you don't like whatever. And the problem is that I think everybody is just so thrilled and so grateful for what Dan Quinn did last year and what the defense did last year after the Mike Nolan year and the awful 2019 season that I think that there's just some hesitancy to have criticism there. Dan Quinn deserves some criticism. I don't think he deserves a huge helping, but sure, I think there's some things that he deserves to be critiqued on.
More than Kellen right now? Again, I want to ask every single person in Tolo, who deserves more heat right now? Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn. Bobby says Kellen. You say Dan.
Yeah.
I say Dan.
Yeah, I say Dan. I mean...
we either really overrated the defense early or Dan Quinn deserves more criticism. It's one of the two. I think I would probably lean towards the defense was overrated, which I was saying, stop putting them in a great special category.
I think
so maybe Dan Quinn, maybe they're regressing back to what they really are.
I think Dan Quinn deserves more criticism. I'm not going to criticize. First of all, I'm not going to really criticize either one of them. One's 7th in the league in points allowed. One's like 3rd in points scored.
Yeah,
like we're really, as Jerry would say, circumcised mosquitoes here. But I know one guy coordinates a unit that has a player that can actually control the game, and that's the offense. So if the quarterback plays bad, Kellen's going to look foolish. If he plays great, he's going to look great. And that's why I'm always going to give more to the defensive side of the ball because I don't think the OC has as much control.
Yeah, I view it as there's only so much Dan Quinn can do. I'm not saying he's completely without blame here. I just view it as there's only so much he can do. Like he clearly identified, we got to do something about the run defense. Let's go get Hankins. They get him, and then he gets hurt.
Yeah.
He realized he tried to play Micah at linebacker because they had linebacker issues, and then they couldn't get pass rush. So he's like, okay, I got to put him here, and so like I think there's some things that he's trying that I think he's challenged by, and that have made things difficult. Whereas I think there are oftentimes not excuses when the offense struggles for you. You shouldn't have those problems there.